Assalamualaikum, my name is Fatin Radina binti Muhammad Al-Zohar and my metric number is 292669. Today, I will explain about introduction and conclusion for our topic, which is Darfur Conflict 2003. The Darfur conflict, a significant areas of war in Western Sudan, began in 2003 when rebels organized an uprising to protest the Sudanese government's alleged contempt for the region and its non-Arab population. The region is diverse in culture and ethnicity, with many communities adhering to distinct customs and ways of life. Power struggle, marginalization, and historical tensions often serve as the foundation for contemporary conflicts in the area. Next, during the colonial era, Darfur was part of the Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, a condominium under joint British and Egyptian control. Following Sudan's 1956 declaration of independence, Darfur persisted in being marginalized politically and economically. The central government, which based in Khartoum, frequently disregarded the region's development demands, adding to the unhappiness and dissatisfaction of Darfur's people. This was further exacerbated by external sanction, mismanagement, and conflict. Moreover, in the early 2000s, rebel movements demanded more autonomy and compensation for their perceived marginalization. The Justice and Equality Movement (JAM) and the Sudan Liberation Movement or Army (SLMA) were two organizations that started to criticize the administration. While the Janjaweed, a local militia suspected of severe violations of human rights, was founded in 2003 by members of the Fur ethnic group. The Darfur conflict has garnered significant attention from the international community due to the dire humanitarian and security conditions. Peacekeeping forces and diplomatic efforts have been used by international organizations such as the African Union and the United Nations in response activities. Calls for justice, accountability, and a durable peace in the region have resulted from the violence, drawing attention from around the world. Despite numerous peace deals and foreign involvement, finding a long-term solution to the Darfur war has proven difficult, underscoring the difficulties in resolving historical grievances, ethnic rivalries, and regional political factors. The crisis in Darfur serves as a sobering reminder of the more general difficulties that conflict resolution and peace-building initiatives in various underprivileged areas of the world face. Our research question is, to what extent has the development and implementation of IHL contributed to reducing civilian casualties in contemporary armed conflict, and what are the key challenges in achieving these goals? Our research objective is to assess the effectiveness of IHL in protecting civilian populations in contemporary armed conflict.
Assalamualaikum, very good day. My name is Muhammad Aman Qayyum. My metric number is 24576 and my part is literature review. The research challenge suggests that there may be some inconsistency between the goals of the Geneva Convention and the right of that is prescribed, but it also raises question whether there are actual fundamental gaps in the literature of the topics of the study that we are researching. The mechanism of Geneva Convention 1864. The convention was ratified in 1864 on August 22nd in Switzerland. In order to safeguard victims of armed conflict, the convention was created to serve as a foundation of international legal regulation. The primary focus of the convention was to treating injured and ill members and the armed force while they were in the field. The International Committee of Red Cross, ICRC, and Red Crescent were founded on the basis of the convention. There are two parts in the agreement of Geneva Convention. The first part is for the amelioration of the condition of the wounded and sick in armed force in the field. Second, for the amelioration of the condition of wounded, sick, and shipwrecked members of armed force at sea. The third Geneva Convention relative to the treatment of prisoners of war, and fourth Geneva Convention relative protection of civilian prisoners in time of war. And the three additional protocols are relating to protection of victims in international armed conflict, protection victim of non-international armed conflict, and relating the adoption of additional distinctive emblem. The article of Pros and Cons of Geneva Convention by Jeremy R. Hammond in July 7, 2004 may be of interest. It offers a critical analysis of the convention and their efficiency in reducing the savage of war. The ultimate in the case of convention do not offer enough protection for civilians, and many nations, including the United States, have broken them. In the article, we could see that that they worried about the option available to the president or not clearly presented in the draft, that it will be apparent of the final memorandum of the president of choice between two options determining the Geneva Convention on the Treatment of Prisoners of War (GPW) does not apply to the war in Afghanistan was the first option, and the second option for United States, of course, the action of the have been decided while Geneva Convention does apply to the conflict of Afghanistan. Neither the Taliban nor member of Al-Qaeda as a group of eligible for the status prisoner of war under the convention. In both cases, all inmates were treated accordance with GPW tenets by Powell's in 2002. From this memo, Secretary of State Colin Powell that with the convention itself there are still flaws and still be needed to address, such as complaint in times of conflict. States and non-state actors don't always abide by them, which result in transgression of international humanitarian law by Imogen Fox in 2005, and some critics claim that convention do not offer enough protection for civilians, instead place too much emphasis on the prisoner of war are treated by RCFR in 1998. So, in conclusion, we could say that our research is focusing on the extent of development of implementation of IHL contributed in reducing civilian casualties in contemporary armed conflicts, and what are the key challenges to achieving this goal. The ever-changing nature of our internal conflicts, external state threats, and presence of non-state actor present challenge in adapting to agreement like Geneva Convention. Despite their notable advancement, the results of the review show how important is it for international legal framework to be updated and re-evaluated on a regular basis in order to effectively handle the various problems. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Siti Shaila Afira and my matrix number is 273484. Today, I'm gonna share to you guys insight from our research title, International Humanitarian Law in Contemporary Armed Conflict, a case study of Darfur. I will walk you through our methodology, analysis, and lesson that we're gonna learn. Let us dive in. Our research has two main objectives. First, we aim to analyze the relationship between international humanitarian law, IHL, and its role in defending civilians affected by armed conflict. Second, we're gonna seek to assess the effectiveness of IHL in protecting civilian populations, and these two objectives guide our exploration into a critical area of study. And to achieve our goals, we employ a quantitative approach involving correlational research and the use of secondary data. This method allows us to systematically gather and evaluate variables related to the Darfur armed conflict and international humanitarian law. As a conflict escalates, IHL comes into a play when a government's ability to maintain order diminishes. In armed conflict, the regular military forces of a state become legitimate targets of IHL, impose constraints on combat tools and techniques. This sets the stage for a crucial role in mitigating the impact of armed conflict for humanitarian purpose. Turning our attention to the Darfur conflict, this region, with its diverse tribal and ethnic groups, faced severe damage due to internal armed warfare. The conflict involved rebel factions, government forces, and the Janjaweed military, resulting in displacement, loss of life, and international response by the ICC, issuing arrest warrants for the high-ranking Sudanese leaders. We draw parallel between the Darfur conflict and those in Uganda and Congo. Internal strife, government challenges, and the activation of IHL are common traits in these regions. In Uganda, LRA insurgency led by Joseph Kony and the ongoing conflict in Congo present dire humanitarian crisis, emphasizing the crucial role of IHL mitigating this impact. Despite efforts to implement IHL in Darfur, challenges persist. Struggle over limited resources, ethnic tension, and governance issues hinder the effectiveness of IHL. The ICC pursuit of justice of war crimes reflect accountability mechanism, yet complexities in the conflict pose difficulty in achieving significant reduction in civilian casualty. Let's dive to our research question. First, we have to what extent has the development and implementation of IHL contribute to reducing civilian casualty in contemporary armed conflict, and what are the key challenges in achieving this goal? Second was the effectiveness of IHL in protecting civilian populations in contemporary armed conflict. In conclusion, while strides has made in addressing the humanitarian impact of Darfur conflict through the development and implementation of IHL, challenge persists. The complex nature of the conflict, difficulty in enforcing IHL principle underscore the need to continue efforts to strengthen the effectiveness of international humanitarian law. As the international community address humanitarian calamities in Darfur, Uganda, and Congo, understanding shared principles and challenges in this region is essential. This lesson provide valuable insight for refining strategies and addressing challenges specific to the Darfur context. That's all my part. Thank you.
So, our conclusion is since 2003, Darfur has been a complex humanitarian crisis involving various parties, including the Sudanese government, rebel organizations, militias, and surrounding nations. The conflict has resulted in millions of people being displaced, hundreds of thousands dying, and numerous human rights violations. Social inequality is a significant cause, with the central government historically marginalizing non-Arab ethnic groups and favoring Arab elites. Despite multiple peace agreements, the situation remains unstable due to hostilities, human rights violation, and unmet humanitarian needs. The UN plays a critical role in advancing the peace process, safeguarding civilians, and addressing the underlying causes of the conflict. The Geneva Conventions and international treaties set out humanitarian treatment parameters during armed conflict, but have been criticized for failing to deter breaches of humanitarian law during war. The Darfur conflict serves as a reminder of the need for more robust and efficient systems for conflict prevention, settlement, and the application and enforcement of humanitarian law. Encouraging communication, collaboration, and accountability between states and non-state actors can help the UN and other international organizations play a significant role in this area. Thank you, that's all from us.